Welcome. Oh, for God's sake, it's done it again. Alright, I'm gonna have to sort this out yet again. Alright, there we go. Awesome. Right. How are we? Anyone in the chat yet? How are we all? How are we? Are we ready for today's live stream? Are we? Anyone in the chat yet? I don't think there is. Oh, there might be. There might be. What we saying, everybody? How's everyone's day today? Everyone, one more day to go, then weekend. Hello Nick. Welcome back to the chat. Hi DB, all good? I'm all good, mate. I'm good. How are you? Hopefully you're all good as well. Thank you for tuning in. I gotta turn these on mute more often, bro, honestly. All you lot hear is beep 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 beep. You know, background noise all that time, and a dog barking, obviously. Yeah, thank you, dog. Are we looking forward to the weekend, are we, people? Are we looking forward to the weekend? I actually tested the audio. The audio sounds really great now. I think the audio on the microphone is pretty decent now. Yeah. We may have started this a bit too early. I think 7 o'clock is the time people get in from work. Looks like. Oh man. Always the same, worrying till the team is announced. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. That part is yeah, it's frustrating and annoying. You know, I don't get me wrong. Look, the last two games have been brilliant for us. The last two games have been perfect. You know, I couldn't have expected anything more than 6 points. If we could get a full 9 away to Middlesbrough, I'd be even more happier and chuffed, because then I could sit here and say, okay, cool, what we've done this week is pretty much impossible. We've done the impossible, I would say. You know, to get points from West Brom, Birmingham and Middlesbrough, 3 great teams, big teams in my opinion in the Championship, that are all, in my opinion, fighting for, you know, top 10. I would say it's a good sign. You know, I'll be very happy with it. So yeah, we'll see what happens on Saturday about that one. But Middlesbrough is probably going to be the most difficultest against, well, if you want to put all 3 together. You know, I think Middlesbrough are a strong team. Their manager, they've recruited their manager. They have, just like we did with Marty, from the same kind of club. So yeah, and he's been killing it. So yeah. Hey B, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a good day. He goes, hi DB bro, can't wait for this game. Do you know what? I might as well say it, because it might as well work, because every time I say it, we seem to win. I'm nervous about the game, you know, I'm not confident. So yeah. Maybe I should say it more often, because we seem to win when I say it. No, but yeah, like I said, I'm happy with the 6 points already. If we get a draw, even better. A win, even better. You know, if we lose, it's expected. You know, against a team like that. But we got a lot to do in January, in my opinion, to make sure we stay in the top 10. So yeah. What are these people doing? Nick says, I think we're a matching quality of our squad, just comes down on the day. Listen, I said this at the start of the season. I think we have a cracking squad. I think our squad is top tier of championship now. You know, we still need to build, but I feel like the players that we have, they should be fighting for promotion each season. You know, we have superb players that are brilliant championship players. You know, and they all want to play. They all want to work hard on the field and play. So yeah, I would say the squad we have, all we can do is make it better. You know, I don't see us having it. You know, like I honestly don't think we have a shit squad. You know, Poku was a brilliant signing, and Benge was a brilliant signing. Like I said, each signing this season has been superb, and it's been dealt with, and it's been brought into the club in a way where we can afford it, and it's just great work by everyone in the dealings of the transfers, the scouts, and all of that. I think they've done a superb job this season. You know, they did cracking last season with bringing in Varane, and stuff like that. And I just think this season's even better. You know, Nick says, like you said, we need the players, but I do be more confident in a new goalkeeper and Ronnie. I have confidence in Paul Nardi. I do. I have confidence in Paul Nardi. I just don't have confidence in our defense. You know, I still will say this: our defense is the problem, not the keeper. You know, I love Nardi. I love Ben Hamer. I used to be very confident with Joe Walsh, but he's not exactly shown me great things at the start of the season. But I also want to see Cooper come back to QPR and fight for a contention of a place there. You know, I still think keeper-wise we're strong. If he goes in for a different keeper, a new keeper, okay. I understand why. But why waste our time with a keeper when we have 3 keepers? And I honestly think we should just focus more on a centre-back, a right-back, and possibly some youngsters coming in. You know, we've got some great youngsters coming through the development squad, but, you know, we're not giving game time to Collie. We're not giving game time to certain other players, so they should be sent out on loan. But the word is Collie might be leaving anyway. You know, he's not really happy. He wants to go to a club that is first team, you know, or fighting contention. Harvey Elliott, welcome back to the chat. Good to see you, mate. Andre Dazzle. You mean Andre Dazzle for Portsmouth? He used to play for us. He did, but I just don't think. I'll be honest. I don't think he's the right material for us at the moment. You know, he's a different type of player. I really like him, but he's a different type of player for what we want to do. So yeah. Nick says Jake Clark-Soa in the side makes me feel a lot better. 100%. Like I said, I like Jake Clark-Soa. I really do. But his injuries are a big problem in this club. You know, if he could keep fit, then I have more reliable trust in the decisions that the manager makes or the coaches or whatever. But he's doing the right thing in the sense of playing him in certain games and not playing him in every game. Otherwise, he's just going to get killed out there. So, yeah. AB says, I don't see the point in buying a new keeper. I think we are going to do so, just recall Cooper. I agree, AB, 100% with that one. It's pretty much what I said. So, yeah. Nick, like you said, need to get rid of a keeper to bring one in. Yeah. I would say right now, if we're going to get rid of keeper, it might be Joe Walsh, you know, on loan. If that's what the plan was, to send out a keeper on loan. Right now, this is the plan. What I would love to see Escudina go out on loan to a club that he feels happy with, or because of his age, maybe keep him in the development squad and on the bench maybe sometimes. We need to send Collie out on loan. We need to I think we need to send what's his name? I can't think of his name. Daniel Benny, that's it. I think we need to send Daniel Benny out on loan. He's too good for the development squad. I really will say that. You know, he's really too good for that development squad. So yeah, there are some other players as well, but obviously, you know, at the end of the day, we still want to see our development team and our under 18s all achieve, you know, medals and trophies and stuff like that, to prove that we are doing something. You know, we're doing something right now. It looks like the under 18s are killing it as well. So yeah. Rick says, do you think Sonny DeYoung would be worth resigning? Hell bloody no. I don't want him back at my club. Listen, look, I'm gonna say in my opinion, right? I honestly think he was a good keeper. You know, he was a good keeper, but majority of the stuff that happened with him in the days when Mark Warburton left, he was shockingly bad. He was really awful. It reminded me of Carl Akeme. You know, and don't get me wrong, we've had keepers that have been really bad at the start of their career, but end up being really good. I can remember the Czech keeper, not Peter Cech, the Czech keeper. Oh my God, what was his name? Let me search it up. Oh, Czech goalkeeper QPR. I can't remember his name. Radic Cherny, he was really bad at the start of QPR career, but then he actually turned out to be a really good player, and he's not Croatian, he's not Czech or whatever. Oh, okay, I don't know, but yeah, he was a really bad keeper at the start. Carly Kemi, really bad keeper at the start of QPR career, but then he started performing better for other clubs, So, in my opinion, I think Senny Dieng is just gone now. I would not want him back. I'll be honest. I agree, just because of all the talk. I was kind of glad when I obviously on the deadline day when that talk was going on. I just wasn't really feeling it. I'd rather work on something like bringing in a young keeper or something like that for the development squad than bringing in Denny Dieng in. The only reason why I think we were bringing him in was because of the issues we was having with the goals and stuff like that. And like I said, I honestly don't think it's a goalkeeper scenario. It's a defensive scenario that needs to be improved. So yeah. Is the opposite of Nardi, but terrible shot stopper. Got good in the box. Listen, he's very strong in the air, and he's very, very. He's got good hands, but the problem is he makes clumsy mistakes, and he can't pass the ball well, in my opinion. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that we need to do to get players in. But I think right now the main focus is a defender, a right back, and possibly someone else. So yeah. Cleggy says, good luck QBR. Thank you for tuning in, Cleggy. Much appreciated. Guessing I'm just gonna take a big guess and say you're a Borough fan. So yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. Yeah, I'll shut up. But yeah, we got Middlesbrough on Saturday. So yeah, we'll do the match preview in a second. Just waiting for some of you guys to get into the chat. Have a quick chat with you guys. See how all of you are. Hopefully you're all okay. I know Nick, I've already asked there. He's all right. So yeah. Don't know if you heard of Nuri on forum mentioning that they now have all permanent signings apart from one loan. By that, I'm wondering if there will be any loan signings. All permanent signings apart from one loan. By that, I'm wondering. Huh? Nuri on forum mentioning that they. I need to read this. I need to read that forum. I really do. I don't understand what it says, to be honest. I'm a Manchester City fan. Your most recent oh yes, sorry, I forgot. Sorry. As soon as you said Man City, I totally remembered. I just remembered that. Sorry, my apologies. Thank you for the follow and thank you for tuning in, man. I much appreciate it, man. Norris Davis. What? As in bringing him in from loan? So all of these will probably be announced in January on the signings if he is coming in and all of that, So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But let's get into the preview. Let's do that. Let's get into that. I lost a bit of thing there. Right, so we have Middlesbrough live on Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. At Riverside away. We've just come off a great win streak. Well, we're still in a win streak, but we're coming off 2 good wins at home. Now, Middlesbrough obviously have had a change in manager because of Rob Edwards going to Wolverhampton. And they've brought in kind of a similar scenario to what QPR did with Marty Fuentes, in bringing in Kim Hellberg. Now, Kim Hellberg is a Swedish manager, 37 years old. He's a very, very interesting manager because he's only played 3 game matches at the moment as manager of Middlesbrough, and he's won all 3. And it's pretty incredible to see that, to be honest. He's come into the Championship and changed Middlesbrough completely. Or not even just changed Middlesbrough, I would say done a great job in keeping Middlesbrough up there, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll be honest, I'm very frightened of playing Middlesbrough now at the moment with what his credentials. You know, he's been manager of could be Silva, Nokoping. You know, he's been Hamby is a recent one, to be honest. So Hamby is the one that obviously we got Mike Fuentes from, but he's been in charge since basically Marty left and went to QPR, and now he's at Middlesbrough. So it looks like Middlesbrough are trying to go the same route as what QPR did with recruiting managers and stuff like that. But he's done a great job. He has this guy Kim Hellberg already. I didn't know much of him on the day when he signed for Middlesbrough, but to have 3 games already and win all 3 of them, and seeing the best out of Morgan Whittaker, which we'll get into obviously in the preview show a bit later, it's been pretty decent for Middlesbrough. You know, the results obviously are 2-1 Borough, 2-1 Derby, sorry, at Borough, and then they beat Hull 4-1 away, and then they just recently beat Charlton away 2-1. So it's been pretty decent. In the game, obviously, the last game before he got in charge, they lost Coventry 4-2 away. They did. But if we look at what they kind of do in what his scenario is, because we can tell right now, just 3 games into it of his career at Middlesbrough, we can actually tell what kind of football he seems to like to play. It looks very attacking, to be honest. So against Charlton when they won 2-1, obviously goals from McGree and Whittaker. Momentum wise, kills it. They're on the ball constantly attacking. Possession, they look like a very possession side, and they like to take shots. They really do. But that's only against Charlton. If we look at the others, same again, very possession side team. And a lot of momentum and a lot of shots as well as that. And then we look at the Derby game, same again, possession side team, expected goals, a lot of total shots on that one. So yeah, he likes to play attacking, possession, a bit of possession in there as well. So we got to be very careful. You know, our defense is gonna be on point. So I would say this, looking at how Derby play with a low back line, with pretty much 5 at the back, I would usually say, if I'm not mistaken. Looking at the squads, what they play. So at the moment, it looks like Middlesbrough play a 4-4-2. He likes to play a 4-4-2, he does, it seems to me. Now, the previous game where they played Charlton actually went 3 at the back and didn't exactly work out that well for them. So looking at this, most of their players are pretty damn decent. You know, they got some great players. Whittaker looks like he's playing on the left. It could be a 4-3-3 formation if I'm not mistaken. But we got to be careful with some of these players. They're doing an incredible job in the last 3 games for Middlesbrough. So yeah, 4-4-2. Obviously, it's a bit like, I would say, probably like a lot like Julian Stefan, where he keeps the start formation as 4-4-2, but it then rotates into 2 other formations when we're defending and when we're attacking. So it looks pretty decent, very even side, I would say. But because Middlesbrough at home, not exactly the greatest scenarios we need right now. But it's going to be very difficult, I would say. Their top players, obviously, Whittaker, Hayden Hackney, which everyone knows. Hayden Hackney's a very dangerous player. Very dangerous. He likes to get into challenges, likes to win the ball back, and likes to run with the ball and be involved in goals. That pretty much sums up Hayden Hackney. Gilbert at the moment is a new signing, Alex Gilbert, who they recently signed this season, I think. I can't remember who they signed him off. But he is a young talent, I think, and apparently he's a decent talent. You know, we got to watch out for Conway as well. Conway is a quality striker if he is playing. 2 assists, 2 goals this season. If no one knows about Conway, then you really need to do your research, I think, because Conway is one of them dangerous strikers. A lot like, I would say, you know, you see these championship strikers sometimes, like Naki Wells and stuff like that, like kill it. Pretty much Conway is pretty much the same. You know, someone like the Charlie Austin, David Nugent, stuff like that. So yeah, they've also got Bergzog, who is also a great player, but he hasn't really done much this season compared to other seasons. So yeah, Callum Britton, they're pretty much, it's the same. Do you know what I just realized? The same as Birmingham. They've all got goal involvements. You know, their back two have got assists. Their 2 centre backs have assists and goals. You know, their whole midfield have got assists and goals, and their forward line have got assists and goals. So they're working really hard to get them goals. They are, you know. So we got to be very careful on Saturday. We need to not give the ball away so much. I would say put pressure on them a lot, but I got a funny feeling that counter-attacks might kill us. You know, they look like they prioritize energy and counter-attacking as well. Looking at what the stats are on the sheet here. Middlesbrough do sit second in the league with 39 points, 9 plus goals. You know, they're in the same resemblance as us in form. They are. We are pushed out of the playoffs now from a decent game yesterday from Hull City, who beat Wrexham. So we're sitting 7th, 31 points, minus 3 goals. So it's going to be a quite even game, I reckon. But because it's at the Riverside, it might be a full dangerous game for Middlesbrough to get a chance, an opportunity to get a result out of us. And then I would also say we might need to play 5 at the back or 3 at the back. So Jimmy Dunn, Steve Cook and Bengay all at the back, with possibly Paul Smith and Sato on the wing backs. Maybe something like that will do the trick. I'm not too sure, but I think he will utilize low block quite a bit in that game, and I think he knows that. So yeah, we'll see what happens on that behalf. But looking here, I would say predictably it's not looking great for us on paper. But you never know with QPR. They always either show up or show out. You know, they're one of them teams where it could either go really good or really bad. For example, Norwich away, you know, who would have thought QPR would lost an out-of-form team? And yeah, it kind of went Norwich's way on that day. So I would probably say there's going to be a lot of players rested for that game. So obviously we're probably going to see Clark Salter in the back. We are with Jimmy Dunn, maybe Steve Cook as well in a 3, which would be very interesting to see. But up front, I think 2 up front might be a bit of a problem, but Kone has been pretty decent without scoring lately. So yeah. I just forgot about Davis as well. So Davis would be pretty brilliant on that left side. So yeah. Let's have a look at the chat. AB says, I don't think 2 strikers is the right decision for this game, but I think he will do that. He won't disable that. It's the only way to say it. You know, he's gonna keep the 2 strikers up front, 100%. He ain't changing nothing with the formation. He's going to keep the formation, but just change the players. And obviously, as you saw, you know, we played some players. I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Field plays left back. I really wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah. You also say I drop one and play an extra midfielder. You know, Kieran Morgan's done well. You know, you could play Kieran Morgan, but I would say 3 in midfield might be a bit of a bad issue just because of low block. So yeah. Nick says needs to drop 1 striker and plug midfield with Hayden alongside Varane and Madsen. That might be a good shout as well. I didn't think of Hayden and Varane, but I'll be honest, I would probably drop Varane right now and put Hayden and Madsen, and possibly put Kieran Morgan in there as well. I don't know much about injuries going into this game. I know obviously Ilias Share and all of that, but he doesn't do the preview show, obviously, for QPR till tomorrow. So we won't know anything till tomorrow. So we'll go from there. But yeah, right now it's going to be really, I would say, a really difficult game for us. So yeah. Isn't Field still injured? I'm not sure, actually. I wasn't thinking of that injury. But yeah, I'll have a check. I'm actually looking at goals here. Adam Armstrong's top again with 11 goals. So that's crazy. Now, going into from this... oh, wait, Nick's... Morgan is a good shout, whichever free plays. Yeah, listen, he scored a cracking goal, but I still think majority of the time he does give the ball away quite a bit, you know. I don't like him right back. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not liking him right back in a scenario where someone's pacey on the ball when he's against them. I would say he's a lot better probably in midfield, you know. He seems to be... I'm not trying to say he is the player, but he reminds me a lot of a Kevin De Bruyne type of player, where he likes to be in areas which are very difficult, but he seems to get out of them areas, which is impressive. You know, he likes to come to the ball, but he has like a vision around the whole pitch, where he knows where people are. So he has this amazing sense of where he needs to be and where players are going to be, you know? So yeah, as Adamson looked quick when he made an appearance. Adamson is quick, but I just don't know why he's not playing. Unless he's not ready or he doesn't like him. I'm not too sure. I can't really say. But yeah. But moving on from this, we're gonna do the predictions. Our predictions for the week 21 championship. So tomorrow night we start off with West Bromwich Sheffield United. I'm gonna go with a draw on that one. Norwich v Southampton on Saturday, early kickoff, 12:30. I'm going to go with a Southampton win. Oxford v Preston on afternoon on Saturday. I'm actually going to go with a Oxford win against Preston. I am. Stoke v Swansea. Stoke should win that for sure. Birmingham Charlton. That's going to be a really good game, and I think it's going to be a draw. Coventry v Bristol City. That is probably going to be a Coventry win, I reckon, on that one. Leicester v Ipswich. Ipswich will probably... I reckon Ipswich will do Leicester, I'll be honest with you, on that one. Now, Middlesbrough QPR. I reckon I'm going to say a 0-0 draw. I'm going to say 0-0 draw. Only because I just don't want to see us lose. I don't want to see us lose, but the likely chances are I'd be happy with a draw. Coming out this week with 7 points, I think, is a lot better than 6, you know? So, yeah. Millwall v Hull, I'm going to go with a Hull win on that one. Portsmouth Blackburn, I'm going to go with a draw. Wrexham v Watford, I'm going to go with a draw as well. If you want to get involved, put your comments in after the video in the comment section on who you think on prediction-wise this week. And we'll go from there. So, yeah. Looking at the comments before we end, AB says, I agree, he let Gray get away easily, which led to the goal. He should have. You know, AB, like I said, that's what I said. But looking at it as well, someone should have been watching that back post. And I tell you one thing, if you all look at the goal again, look where Steve Cook is. Steve Cook is not in his position that he should be. No one is in that position watching that player. Not even Davis, no one. So, for me to say this, I would say not just Kieran Morgan, it's probably Steve Cook and the defence as well that have had that issue and that problem of allowing that to happen. So, yeah. But it's huge shouts for Kieran Morgan with his wonder strike to score that. So, yeah. But yeah, that's the end of the preview show for Middlesbrough. We'll be live on Saturday. We will be, now, obviously... we probably will be in a bit of a rush because I have to go out on Saturday, but we will be live on Saturday watching the Middlesbrough game. So stay tuned for that. Put your notification on. If you enjoyed this previous show, hit the like button or smash the like button if you want to, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll leave it there. Hopefully you all have a good evening. We'll catch you Saturday. Peace, love, positivity as always, and good evening. Have a good last week day of the week tomorrow, if is your last week, and we'll go from there. If I can remember.